It's December, which means it's holiday season, which means store-bought eggnog, which I just can't. Ugh, dude, it's so bad. But a couple years ago, I learned how to make this recipe from scratch, and since then it has revolutionized my life in the world of eggnog. It's changed my opinion about that drink completely. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make it. Now, to be honest, there's one technique that's part of the process. It's a little bit more advanced, but that's why I'm here. I'm going to show you how to do it. And believe you me, once you make this, you'll be drinking it all the time. It's time to prep. This is everything you're going to need to make eggnog, and I've pre-measured it out, so let's do a quick run through. You're going to need 2 cups of 3.25 or whole milk, 3/4 cups of cream, a half cup of sugar, a little bit over 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and about 2 to 4 cloves, 3/4 teaspoons of vanilla, and 4 egg yolks, not the whites, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, you're going to need Mr. Ducky. First, grab an egg, and we're going to start by cracking it, but don't let everything fall out just yet. In a separate container, what you're going to do is you're going to pass the egg back and forth until the egg whites separate from the egg yolks, just like this. Be very delicate with this process because if you go too quickly, the egg yolk will break. And if there's a little bit of egg whites left on the egg yolk, it's not the end of the world, you can still work with that. Now, make sure you do the rest with the other 4 eggs as well. And if an egg breaks, it's not the end of the world. Just try and get as much whites out and then pass it over. You can still work with it. It's not a problem. As for the egg whites, since they're in a separate container, you're just going to cover it up and put it in your freezer. These will last for a year and you can use them for other recipes. It's time to cook. On the lowest heat possible, add your milk, cloves, and cinnamon. Stir everything and let it sit until it gets steamy. We're going to move over to the eggs. First, you're going to get a wet rag and put it underneath the bowl, and that's going to stop it from shifting around since you're going to need both your hands. Then in your right hand, grab your whisk. Your left hand, grab your sugar. You're going to slowly whisk the eggs and incorporate the sugar little by little, like this. Don't whisk too vigorously, you're just trying to get everything incorporated right now. Once all the sugar is incorporated, that's when you grab the bowl and whisk like a maniac. And you keep on going until the eggs get to a much lighter color like this. Next, you're going to move the rag over to your station. Your milk is all nice and steamy. Move your eggs over, and we're going to be tempering our eggs. Now, tempering is a bit of a process because if you add too much of the hot liquid at one moment, you're going to actually scramble the eggs. So make sure you do this as slowly as possible, little by little, constantly whisking. That way you don't get a scramble. Now, as you keep on adding the warm liquid, you're going to keep on whisking the eggs until they get up to temperature. Best way to test that is just put your hand on the side of the bowl, and if the side of the bowl is relatively warm, you've done a good job. This takes roughly anywhere between 3-4 minutes, so take your time with this. If it takes longer, let it take longer, but try and incorporate, my rule of thumb is to try and incorporate as much of the hot liquid as possible before I get to the next step. Once it's incorporated, move everything off. And this is just to show you guys, but you're going to whisk your liquid and add all the eggs back to the hot pot. Keep on whisking so that nothing burns, and just in case you didn't temper it well enough, you still won't get scrambled eggs. Now bring the heat up to about the second lowest setting you have and continuously stir this for the next 5 to 10 minutes until it thickens up. My rule of thumb personally is I keep on stirring this until the foam that was created from the whisking is mostly gone. But you have to keep stirring this because if you stop at any point in time, there's a chance you'll burn the liquid, the egg still might scramble, so just keep on it. Also remember that once you put this in the fridge overnight, it will thicken up a little bit more, so don't go too thick on the stove. Once it does get thick enough, what you're going to do is in a separate bowl, you're going to get a sieve. You're going to pour the liquid through so that you can get rid of the cloves and any potential burnt milk that might just be sitting in the broth. Once that's done, clear the space, add your cream, your nutmeg, and your vanilla. Personally, I like vanilla, so try and get all of it in there. Vanilla's good. And stir it until it's evenly dispersed. Now, for storing this, you can just put it in a mason jar and it'll keep in your fridge for, I'll be truthful, a couple days because you will drink it within that time period. And you're going to let it refrigerate overnight. It's time to plate.
Mr. Ducky.
Now I know what you're thinking. That seems like a small amount of eggnog to make. Well, I'm here to tell you, just triple the recipe, 6 cups of milk, 12 eggs, a cup and a half of sugar, etc., and you'll be making a lot more. And I'm not telling you how long this lasts in the fridge, because trust me, once you make it, it won't last in the fridge at all. Oh, it's like drinking liquid cake. Remember to ring the bell for notifications, subscribe for more. I will see you all next time, and peace, love, and waffles. Order up! Go make eggnog. Just go.